Good afternoon, everyone. I am Krishna David from Rooms 11Y1-2, and in today's podcast, along with my groupmates, we are going to talk about how to be financially stable as a student. To start everything off, I am going to ask you guys first if you are financially smart. Let's go and start with you, Sophia. No, I don't think so. Whenever I want something that I really want, I'll buy it without thinking twice. Oh, yeah? Sometimes I'm like that. How about you, Mark? Are you financially smart?
As for me, I'm not that financially smart actually, but I can save some. Main ways and are somewhat similar about that.
Oh, really?
For me, yes, because I budget my money properly and maybe that's our similarities.
How about you, Earl?
No, I'm not. But maybe Ate Serena is.
Yeah, I guess so.
To the second question, which is, do your parents give you your allowance daily or weekly? Let's start with you, Earl.
As for me, my parents give me my allowance daily.
How about you, Mark?
Daily allowance.
Bree?
allowance.
Okay. How about you, Ate Zarina?
Daily allowance.
Charles?
My parents don't give me an allowance, but my uncle does, and it's weekly.
Okay. Sophia? My parents also give my allowance daily.
Me, weekly allowance.
Okay. It's really a good thing for us that our parents give us our allowance daily because aside from our transportation fare, we have extra money that we can use to buy foods or thingies outside the school, like typical high school students, right? But it's also wise that some of your parents give you your allowance weekly for you to learn how to budget your money every day. By the way, how do you budget your allowance?
I want to answer first.
Okay.
I only spend my budget for some necessary things that can be useful for myself.
Ooh.
Me, since my allowance is 1K for 2 weeks, I budget only what I should spend and I avoid buying things that I don't need so that my budget fits me and at the same time I can save money.
I spend my allowance on unnecessary things, which is why I struggle with budgeting.
As I am not financially smart, I spend my allowance on unnecessary things, and I think that's the reason why I don't really know how to budget it.
Okay, how about you guys? If it's something really important, I'll save money for it so my expenses are limited. That's how I budget all the time. I also save money by not eating at school. I bring my own food so as not to spend any more money.
I always save first my transportation fare just to make sure that I will get home. It's always working for me.
Okay, how about you, Ate Zarina?
As for me, sometimes I only bring my money for my fare. I swear, I can save more when doing that.
Ooh, okay. That's good. It will actually help you from not buying unnecessary things. It's really hard to budget our money or allowance because it's limited. We control what we buy, whether it is a need or a want. We have to budget our money because, as I've said, it's limited. I know some of you are scared to be shorted, like you're thinking how are you going to be home when you accidentally shorten your budget, right? Sometimes you have to say no to the things you don't need in the meantime to avoid regrets. Budgeting your allowance as can be easy if you have your own credit plan or budget plan. Do you guys have that? Do you have your own budget plan or credit plan? Let's start with you again, Ate Zarina.
Yes, I have my budget plan. I usually do my budget plan 2 days or a day before school starts, so I know how much I will spend in a day.
Agree.
Yes, I have a budget plan. Since my allowance is only 1K and I need to budget it every day and I also need to fit it within 2 weeks.
How about you, Mark?
I don't have a credit plan or a budget plan, but I had a coin bank. That's what we call alkansya to save more money for my future emergency needs.
Okay, Charles.
I'm planning to build my budget plan because I'm aware, and also my parents, that I spend a lot, and they're advising me that I need to focus on necessary things because I'm still a student, not a billionaire that can buy things without financial conflict.
Yes, agree. As for me, every day my father would give me 300 pesos as my baon, and I spent 136 pesos on the fare on the way to school and to my home. And the remaining 100, I saved that money so that I could buy things that I needed in school. How funny that this podcast can really help us a lot. I hope that everyone can get a lesson here. As we all are growing up now, we are in senior high school now, and we only have one last year here in high school before we proceed in college. We should be financially smart by now. Yes, not everyone is financially smart, not everyone is financially stable, and not everyone could control their budget in an instant. But everyone can try. I know it's hard, but we have to try it until we can call ourselves financially smart. It can help us save money for ourselves, for food, for makeup, for gifts, for our own luxury. Why do you guys think it is so hard for other students to budget their money? Your start first, Sophia. Oh, it's because there are so many things that must buy for school that the money that should have been a food in my stomach becomes stuff that is only used once. I want to add that some students are so far away from school that almost half of their allowance is spent on commuting. Yeah, I agree. How
Um,
about you, Mark?
I think why students work hard to budget their money. It's because their budget isn't that enough to save more money. That's why some students do work to have their own money.
Okay, how about you guys?
For me, as a student, it's hard to budget money, especially when you're spending a person and you don't have a budget plan. It's hard to budget money because we can avoid spending it, especially when it comes to buying our foods and needs. So we need to have a budget plan so we can avoid spending.
Okay, how about you, Earl?
Many students, including myself, find it difficult to budget due to lack of financial education and a tendency to prioritize what's over needs.
Yeah. How about you, Ate Zarina?
Yeah, I think they keep on spending their money even if it's already out of their budget.
Agree.
And maybe because of lots of fees, lack of budgeting techniques, and financial problems.
Interesting, but my personal experience, it's hard for us to budget our money because as I consider myself as a materialistic person, so I mostly rely on wants rather than my needs, but it doesn't look good, so I will change it for the better.
That's good. Yeah. It's very helpful to put everything in place. To have a fixed plan, fixed thoughts, to be motivated. There's always one way or another for our dreams. Come to think of it, do you think you can be successful and professional in the future if you are not financially smart? No, right? But
Yes.
there are a lot of Filipino billionaires out there that share their experience. They said that they are not financially smart. Before, they called themselves one day billionaire because when they got the chance to have their money, they instantly spent it without thinking twice. And then the next day, they would sit to their sofa and watch TV because they don't have money. Guys, don't get tempted with this ours. It's very difficult for me to not look at the things other people have. But as a student, I know that I don't need everything to be satisfied. So I learned not to be tempted by buying stuffs I see online. Never again. I decided that I'll buy those things when I get older and have a proper jobs and lots of money. I agree with that. How about you,
As
Charles?
As they said, the advice or the tip that I will suggest to my co-students and for me also is to have a budget plan because it will be easy for you to know your needs and it can save you money. Also, don't be a materialistic person in a bad way because it
Agree.
can lead you to financial conflict. Trust me, we we need to change our mindset because my mother taught me that not everyone has the same privilege like mine. Also, there's other people who is less fortunate and needs help. And that words reminded me that I need to be grateful for what I have and be humble, kind, and help people so that you will bless more.
You're actually right. You have to consider your situation always. Okay? And that's all a very helpful tip for everyone. Sometimes the person that could help us is ourselves also. Learn how to control things. This is your sign to start writing down your thoughts, writing down your expenses, writing down your goals, and writing down for your future. And that's all for today's podcast, everyone. I hope you've got something to learn and try here. Let's all be wise and think twice. Thank you so much for listening.